Back here at home, President Trump plans to go to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center later today for a medical and dental checkup. According to a White House official, it will be the president's third checkup in his second term.
President Trump turns 80 next month. Last year, he became the oldest person ever sworn in as president. Despite that, he routinely says he's in excellent health, but he does face some questions over his bruised hand and apparent drowsiness during public events.
NBC News political reporter Megan Leibowitz joins us now with more on this and some other headlines from Washington for us. Megan, good morning. So first, let's start on that checkup. What do we know?
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, so as you mentioned, this is President Trump's third in-person doctor's visit in a little bit over a year. So I want to walk you through some of those previous visits that we had learned about. So after his October visit, it was later revealed that President Trump had a CT scan done of his heart and of his abdomen. Now, his physician had said afterwards that it was perfectly normal and revealed absolutely no abnormalities. Now, after his April visit of last year, the physician as well said that President Trump was in excellent health. And as you mentioned, President Trump, too, has said that he is in great health as well. But, you know, at times his health has faced scrutiny, in part because of his age. He's 79 years old and he turns 80 next month. But also, as you mentioned, because of things like the bruising on his hand, which is often covered up with makeup when we see that as well. You can see on your screen right there. Now, the White House has said that that's because President Trump shakes a lot of hands, and said that it's also because he uses aspirin as a blood thinner. Now, usually after types of visits like this, we oftentimes get a readout from the White House physician where we might learn things about any tests that the president underwent, as well as the physician's diagnostic summary as well. So that's something that we're going to keep an eye on and hopefully get an update on later today.
We'll see what that readout says. So, Megan, one of the president's biggest Republican rivals is back in the news. We're talking about Representative Thomas Massie. Lost his primary last week, but now he's filed what's called a statement of candidacy with the Federal Election Commission yesterday. So what could that mean for his political future and also for the race for his seat later this year?
Yeah, that's right. So he filed this paperwork with the FEC for 2028. But a big caveat here, this does not mean that he is definitely running for office in 2028. What it basically does is that it allows him to continue to raise money as a potential candidate for federal office, as he said as well in his tweet where he announced that he was filing this paperwork. He's reiterated, too, that he has not made a final decision about which office to seek if he ultimately even does end up running. Now, just a couple of days ago as well on Meet the Press, Massie was asked by moderator Kristen Welker about the possibility of whether he might potentially run for president in 2028. Take a listen to that exchange.
I will not rule out anything, and right now I'm not going to rule in anything. But I think I will stay engaged in some way or shape. Maybe it's from the outside. I've been exposing what's going on in Washington, D.C. for years, and I'll keep doing it.
In that same interview, Kristen Welker had asked him that if he ultimately did run for president, would he run as a Republican? And he said that he would not rule anything out.
Megan, we also saw another shakeup. This was in President Trump's cabinet with Tulsi Gabbard announcing her resignation from her role as Director of National Intelligence just last week. Have we learned any more about why she's stepping down?
Yeah, she said that she was resigning effective at the end of June and said that it was because her husband was diagnosed with an extremely rare form of bone cancer. She posted her letter of resignation on X, and she wrote that he faces major challenges in the coming weeks and months, saying, "At this time, I'm going to step away from public service to be by his side and fully support him through this battle." Now, President Trump had weighed in on Truth Social as well, saying that Gabbard has done an incredible job and we will miss her. He also said that Principal Deputy Director of National Intelligence Aaron Lucas will serve as the acting Director of National Intelligence. Remember, Gabbard is the fourth member of President Trump's cabinet to leave during his second term. She follows former Attorney General Pam Bondi, former Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, as well as former Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-Dreamer, guys.
All right, Megan, thank you so much.